Have you ever felt like you were born in the wrong era? As if the modern world, with its fast-paced and superficial values, simply doesn't make sense to you? If this feeling resonates, you might be an old soul living in the wrong century. In this video, we'll explore 7 clear signs that could reveal this truth. More importantly, I'll show you how these signs can be harnessed as strengths to help you find balance and purpose in a world that seems out of tune with your essence. Imagine waking up every day with the feeling that you don't quite fit in. The world around you feels noisy, fast-paced, and often lacking purpose. While everyone else seems to be chasing trends, material achievements, and social media clout, you sense that something is missing, something deeper and more meaningful. This feeling can be suffocating, as though you're living in a place that doesn't reflect who you truly are. Many people experience this to some degree, but for an old soul, this sense of disconnection is even more intense. Perhaps you'd rather spend hours quietly reading a book than scrolling through social media. Or maybe you struggle to connect with shallow conversations because your soul craves depth and authenticity. This feeling can be isolating, and sometimes you might wonder, am I the problem? But let me assure you, you are not alone. Many old souls wrestle with this disconnection because they carry within them a wisdom and perspective that often don't align with the modern world. If this resonates with you, chances are that some of the signs we'll explore today apply to you. Let's now dive into an overview of these signs and discover what you can learn from them. If this disconnection with the modern world resonated with you, stay tuned, because we're about to explore the 7 clearest signs that you're an old soul living in the wrong century. We'll talk about the feeling of not belonging, your fascination with past eras, your wisdom beyond your years, and your search for purpose. Each of these signs will serve as a mirror to help you better understand who you are and why you feel this way. More importantly, you'll learn how to embrace these traits to find greater balance and connection, even in a world that seems out of sync with your essence. Sign 1. Feeling disconnected from the modern world. Do you feel like you don't belong in this era? As if the norms, values, and behaviors of the modern world simply don't align with what you believe or feel. This is one of the clearest signs that you might be an old soul. While many people adapt easily to the fast pace of modern life, an old soul sees things differently. The constant noise of social media, the relentless consumerism, and the superficiality in human relationships seem to drain your energy. You long for something deeper, something real. Imagine, for instance, being at a crowded party where everyone is trying to look perfect to capture the best photo. Meanwhile, you're in the corner wondering why no one is having a meaningful conversation or simply living in the moment. This disconnection doesn't mean you're wrong, it's a reflection of your soul seeking something beyond appearances. So, what can you do about it? Start by recognizing that there's nothing wrong with not fitting in. Seek out communities and people who share your values. Find a group that values depth and authenticity, whether through hobbies, reading circles, or even spiritual communities. The benefit? You'll begin to create an environment that aligns with your essence, a space where you can thrive without feeling the need to conform to something you're not. Now, let's move on to another equally fascinating sign: your fascination with past eras. Sign 2. Fascination with past eras. Have you ever felt an inexplicable connection to eras you've never lived in? As if something within you is drawn to the stories, clothing, music, or lifestyles of times gone by. This is another clear sign that you're an old soul. Old souls often feel a sense of nostalgia for historical periods that resonate deeply with who they are. Maybe you feel an affinity for the simplicity and elegance of the Renaissance, or perhaps the charm and authenticity of the 1950s or 1960s speak directly to your heart. It's not just an aesthetic preference, it's as though your soul recognizes something familiar, something that feels right. For instance, think about how you might lose yourself while watching a period film or wandering through a museum. These aren't just moments of admiration, they're opportunities to connect with values and ways of life that seem more aligned with your essence. If you feel this way, a practical step is to dive deeper into the eras that fascinate you. Read about them, immerse yourself in the music and art of the time, and even incorporate some of those values or styles into your modern life. The benefit? By bringing elements of the past that inspire you into the present, you create a bridge between what your soul values and the world you live in, helping you find greater balance. Now, let's talk about how your maturity and wisdom beyond your years are yet another sign that you're an old soul. Sign 3. Wisdom and maturity beyond your years. Have you been hearing phrases like, "You seem so mature for your age," or "You have a wisdom that doesn't match your life experience since you were young"? This is one of the most defining signs of an old soul. Old souls carry a wisdom that seems to transcend their lived years. It's as if you've already learned lessons from past lives or possess an innate understanding of life. While others around you might be preoccupied with material achievements or trivial matters, you find yourself pondering deeper questions: the meaning of life, the nature of human relationships, or even the long-term impact of your actions on the world. For example, imagine a teenager who, instead of worrying about parties or social media, is deeply engrossed in exploring philosophical or spiritual questions. This maturity often draws people of all ages to seek your advice or company because they recognize in you a rare depth. However, this wisdom can sometimes feel isolating. It might seem like no one around you shares your perspective or understands your concerns. The key action here is to embrace your wisdom as a gift. Use it to inspire and guide others, but also seek out environments where you can exchange ideas with people who share your depth. The benefit? You'll not only strengthen your connections but also begin to find your tribe. Now, let's move on to another crucial aspect: your intolerance for superficiality. Sign 4. Intolerance for superficiality. Have you ever felt frustrated during a conversation full of trivialities? Or noticed that you simply can't invest your time and energy in shallow interactions? This is yet another sign that you're an old soul. Old souls have an almost innate need for depth and authenticity. For you, it's not enough to talk about the latest trends or gossip. You crave conversations that dive deep, that reveal the essence of people and touch on topics that truly matter. This may show up in various ways, such as struggling to keep up with the superficial nature of social media or feeling disinterested in friendships that are purely surface level. Imagine being in a group of friends where everyone is focused on fleeting topics like celebrities or memes. Meanwhile, you're wondering, why aren't we talking about things that actually matter? About dreams, fears, or even existential questions. This contrast might make you feel out of place, but in reality, it's simply a reflection of your depth. The key action here is to seek authentic connections. Look for people who value honesty and are willing to go beyond the surface. Join discussion groups, spiritual circles, or activities that encourage vulnerability and genuine exchange. The benefit? Over time, you'll build meaningful relationships that nourish your soul instead of draining your energy. Now, let's delve into a common feeling among old souls: a sense of melancholy and nostalgia for something undefined. Sign 5. Melancholy and nostalgia for something undefined. Have you ever felt an inexplicable longing for something you can't quite name? A sense of emptiness, as if a vital piece is missing for you to feel whole? This is one of the deepest signs that you're an old soul living in the wrong century. This melancholy isn't ordinary sadness. It's a feeling of disconnection from the present, coupled with a yearning for something that seems beyond your reach. It could be a place you've never visited, an era you've never lived in, or even a connection that feels like it exists on another plane. It's as if your soul remembers something your mind can't quite identify. Imagine being in a peaceful place, surrounded by nature, and feeling an overwhelming sense of familiarity, as though you've experienced it before. Or listening to a piece of classical music that stirs emotions far beyond what words can describe. These moments feel like echoes of something greater, a reminder that your soul carries memories or connections to something much deeper. The key action here is to embrace this melancholy as part of your journey. Use moments of introspection, meditation, or even journaling to explore these feelings. They can offer clues about what your soul is searching for. The benefit? This inner search can bring not only clarity but also a deeper connection to your purpose. Now, let's dive into another clear sign of being an old soul, the constant search for purpose and spirituality. Sign 6. Constant search for purpose and spirituality. If you feel that your life needs to have a deeper meaning, that there's something beyond what the eye can see, this is a clear sign that you're an old soul. For you, simply living on autopilot, fulfilling daily obligations, or going with society's flow isn't enough. You feel an almost uncontrollable need to uncover your purpose and connect with something greater, be it the divine, the universe, or the deeper meaning of existence. This constant search often leads you on journeys of self-discovery and spirituality. You may be drawn to meditation, yoga, ancient philosophies, or exploring life's biggest questions, such as why are we here, and what happens after death. It's as if your soul is hardwired to never settle for simple answers because you know there's so much more to uncover. For instance, think about how strongly you feel the need for your actions to align with your deepest values. Working just for money, engaging in superficial relationships, or living a disconnected life feels unbearable to you. The key action here is to pursue this search intentionally. Dedicate time to practices that nourish your soul, such as reading spiritual texts, participating in conscious communities, or simply embracing moments of silence and introspection. The benefit? By seeking your purpose, you'll not only find answers but also experience a sense of peace and alignment that many never get to feel. Now, let's explore another defining trait of an old soul, your high empathy and sensitivity. Sign 7. High empathy and sensitivity. Have you noticed that you feel other people's emotions so intensely that, at times, it feels like you're carrying their weight? This is one of the most evident signs that you're an old soul. Your empathy isn't just a trait, it's almost a gift, something that deeply connects you to what others are feeling, even when no words are spoken. However, this sensitivity can be challenging in the modern world. We live in an era where people often hide their true emotions or avoid depth. For an old soul, this is exhausting. You might walk into a room and immediately sense the energy, absorbing the emotions around you. If someone is sad, you feel it. If someone is happy, their joy feels like your own. Imagine being in a meeting full of fake smiles but feeling the underlying tension and unspoken conflicts. This sensitivity can feel like a burden, but it's also your strength. It allows you to offer support and understanding at levels many people can't reach. The key action here is to learn how to set emotional boundaries. Practice saying no when necessary and create moments of self-care to recharge your energy. The benefit? Your empathy will become a powerful tool for building deep, meaningful connections, without sacrificing your emotional well-being. Now that we've explored all the signs, let's reflect on their impact and how you can use them as a transformative strength. Now that you've discovered these 7 signs, it's time to reflect on what they truly mean. Being an old soul isn't a burden, it's a gift. While many get lost in the superficiality and distractions of the modern world, you have the opportunity to live authentically and meaningfully. You carry within you a wisdom and sensitivity that the world needs, even if it doesn't always seem welcoming. Yes, living with these traits can be challenging. It can feel lonely, uncomfortable, or even confusing at times. But know this, it's not a mistake. You were born in this era for a reason. Your sensitivity, your search for depth, and your connection to higher values are powerful tools to bring light to a world that often stumbles in darkness. Use these traits as a source of strength. Embrace your uniqueness and look for ways to make an impact in the world around you. Start small, with actions that reflect your values, supporting a friend, sharing words of wisdom, or simply being an example of authenticity and integrity. Remember, your journey is unique, and every step you take brings more meaning not only to your life but also to those who cross your path. Now, let's move on to the call to action, where you can connect even further with this community of old souls. Now that you've identified the signs that you're an old soul, I'd like to invite you to continue this journey with us. If these signs resonated with you, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Share this message with someone who also needs to understand that being different can be a source of strength. Let us know in the comments, Which of these signs describes you the most? Let's share experiences and create a community of old souls who support and grow together. Remember, your wisdom and sensitivity are essential in this world. You make a difference. Even in a world that may feel out of sync with your essence, never forget, you have a unique purpose. Every trait we explored here is an essential piece of the puzzle that makes you who you are. Your soul, with all its depth, wisdom, and sensitivity, was placed in this era for a reason. Embrace your uniqueness, allow yourself to live authentically, and be a light in the midst of superficiality. You are needed, just as you are. Thank you for watching, and may your journey always be guided by the truth your soul carries. See you in the next video.